It's Jack Banks NBA, and today is Baylor Scheierman. So Baylor Scheierman is a 6'7", 205-pound wing, forward, whatever you want to classify him as, from Creighton. He spent his first 3 years at North Dakota State. And as a fifth-year senior, Baylor Scheierman wasn't necessarily a guy, I think, on a ton of people's first-round radars coming into this season. Let's put it that way. I think he was a guy who people were certainly aware of, thought he could make it to the NBA based off of his senior season with Creighton, but not necessarily somebody who people thought could be drafted in the first round. And I think as of post the NBA Combine, Scheierman is getting a lot of talk about being drafted there. So let's go into who is Baylor Scheierman and why is that the case now. So as a fifth-year senior, he averaged 18.5 points, about 9 rebounds a game, and just under 4 assists. And he did so while shooting 45% from the field, 38% from 3 on 8 attempts a game. So the guy is a tremendous shooter. To top it off, 87% from the free throw line, 54% of his twos he made, and he had around two and some change turnovers per game. So clearly, when you look at his stats, the first two things that just leap off the page, quite frankly, is as far as his strengths, his shooting and his rebounding. He's a tremendous shooter. He can shoot it from deep, like well beyond the college three-point line, so he's going to have no problem with the transition to the NBA. And he's a great rebounder, particularly on the defensive end of the court, where he had around 8 defensive rebounds per game. He just has a nose for the ball, and it is a valuable skill that will translate to the next level. And especially when you consider that I think Scheierman is a guy who's going to be best suited to go to a playoff team. And in the playoffs, the teams who have been winning the rebounding battle have been winning their games at like 75% rate or maybe even higher. And you look at a guy like Scheierman who's going to help you with rebounding and shooting. It just seems like a no-brainer. So the other thing I would say about him, in addition to the first two main strengths that I think are going to be there, is he's also an underrated playmaker. Around 4 assists per game, even better at North Dakota State. And last season it dipped down, but that was because he was playing with a true point guard in Ryan Nembhard versus a guy like Ashworth, who's more of a shoot-first guy. So he got more opportunities to make plays for his teammates this year. And my favorite part about Baylor Scheierman is he plays with just a ton of moxie. Like, he's got an attitude to him. He's a really competitive player, and it's just really fun. It's just really fun to watch Baylor Scheierman play basketball. So, quickly, negatives. He's a so-so defender. Just under a steal per game, not much of a shot blocker. While he's a good rebounder, he can certainly be beat off the dribble. He's not quick, and he's certainly a guy who has to be a good team defender because he's not a good individual defender. So, would I draft Baylor Scheierman? Yeah, I would if I were a playoff team looking to add some shooting with a guy who he's not a good defender, but he is not going to kill you because he understands rotations, where he should be. Now, if you get into a playoff series and someone's calling him into a pick and roll, that could be a problem. But I think he's smart enough to figure out how to mitigate some of that. And as I mentioned, playoff teams would be the fit for Scheierman. I think while there's a lot of talk of him going in the first round now, I think he's more of a second-round player. I think that's justified because of the age. He's going to be almost 24 years old. Do I think he could sneak into the back half of the first round? Absolutely. So I would say the top range would be like 25, and then I think he could go as low as like 45. I don't think he goes lower than that with the hype that he's generating right now. And the easy comp for Baylor Scheierman, a lot of people have done it. It just makes sense. Joe Ingles. You've got a 6'7" white guy who's not very athletic, can rebound, can make plays for others, and can shoot the ball. It just kind of makes it for itself. So that's what I think about Scheierman. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on him. Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.